Good evening and welcome and Merry Christmas! This is Place2Be's first ever virtual carol concert coming to you live from St Marylebone Church in London. We are so happy to be here with you tonight, especially because, as you well know, lots of fundraising events have unfortunately been cancelled this year due to COVID-19. So we are delighted that with the wonder of technology, we can all get together tonight and support Place2Be and have a Christmassy old time. So thank you so much for being a big part of this special evening. My name's Katie Thistleton. You might know me from presenting on CBBC. I'm also a BBC Radio 1 presenter. I host the official chart First Look on a Sunday, and also a show called Life Hacks, which is all about young people's mental health. So that is something that is really important to me, and that's why I am an ambassador of Place2Be, the most wonderful charity in the world.
Thank you, Katie. Hello, everyone. I'm Joe Stilgo. I'm a singer, pianist, and musician, and for this year, I'm retraining as a tinsel expert.
You've done a good job.
Hope you like what I've done. So what a year we've all had. But here we are, and we're going to celebrate as best we can. And we're going to have a wonderful night. My life this year has been mainly in my shed. I've been at the bottom of my garden doing online shows, playing piano songs to an audience online, and it's been wonderful to be able to engage. But I can't tell you how much of a relief it is to be out of the shed tonight. I'm finally out, and to be here in this beautiful church, co-hosting with Katie, and I'm going to be performing on the piano later. So it's a wonderful evening to be part of.
That is how special tonight is. We've let Joe out of the shed, and he's spruced himself up. He's out of his gardening clothes. Looks lovely, doesn't he? We want you to get involved tonight as well. Please sing along with the carols, because it'll just make you feel good. I don't know about you, but I am feeling so Christmassy now. I'm so ready to sing loud for all to hear. We also want you to send in your messages, and we might be able to give you a shout out throughout the show. You can use the live chat function on the website, or you can get on social media, on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, and tag us at Place2Be. We want to see pictures of you in your Christmas jumpers, your Christmas headbands if you've got a better one than me. Go on, let's see if you can do better than this. And we also want you to take part in our festive polls. We've got one going at the moment. Joe, please demonstrate the reindeer. This is a beautiful reindeer on the front of this Place2Be leaflet on the programme, and they don't have a name. The reindeer doesn't have a name, so we need you to name them, and you can get involved with that poll with the live chat. You can get the extra carol lyrics, and you can get the digital programme all on the live stream website.
Yes, so to make the most of the experience tonight, we do recommend that you watch the concert on the biggest screen possible, whether it's your TV or a laptop, and then you can use another, maybe your phone, to interact on live chat. That would be a really great way of getting the full experience as if you're here in the church with us. You could also use your phone maybe to order drinks from your butler. If you have a butler, you're just the kind of person we need to donate heavily tonight. That's what this evening is all about, raising money for this wonderful cause.
It's a very good tip. If you are lucky enough to have two devices in your household, then yeah, watch on one, comment on the other, and get involved, and we could be shouting you out. Okay, let's crack on then, shall we? Without further ado, I am delighted to introduce to you Father Stephen Evans, Rector of St Marylebone Church, to open this evening's concert with some words of welcome.
Welcome to St Marylebone Parish Church. Last year, it was very good to welcome friends and supporters of Place2Be for their 10th annual carol service. Very sadly, this year, I'm afraid you can't join us here in the building, but I do welcome all of you who are watching from home. Wherever you are tonight, each and every one of you is playing a really important part in a great and urgent task. And that task is to provide children in schools with safe places in which children, their teachers, and their parents can be heard and supported. This parish church of St Marylebone has been providing education for children in the heart of central London for some 250 years. And we too know how important it is to build, sustain, and encourage healthy, safe, and supportive communities in an increasingly troubled and troubling world. So, in words and song, let us now go even unto Bethlehem and see this thing that is come to pass, Mary and a baby lying in a manger.
Once in royal David's city stood a lowly cattle shed, where a mother laid her baby in a manger for his bed. Mary was that mother mild, Jesus Christ, her little child. He came down to earth from heaven, who is our Lord of all, and his shelter was a stable, and his cradle was a stall. With the poor and mean and lowly, lived on earth a Saviour holy. And through all his wondrous childhood, day by day as he grew, he was little, weak and helpless, tears and smiles like nothing new, and he feared for of sadness, and he shared in our gladness. And eyes at last shall see through his own redeeming love, for that child so dear and gentle is our Lord in heaven above, and he leads his children on to the place where he is born. Nothing like the Lord stable, really ought to standing by, rich as he, but if ever set at God's right hand on high, burn like stars his children crowned, all in blood shall wait
I love that carol. That, for me, whenever I hear that for the first time, that is the start of the Christmas season. And I hope you were all singing along at home. I hope you were warming up your voice. You will need it later. Thank you also to Gabriella from Cranbrook School in Kent for her beautiful solo at the start there. Now, I need your help. In 20 minutes, I'm going to be playing this piano here, but I don't have any songs. So I need you to suggest at home any piece of music, any song you can think of. The more ridiculous, the better. It can be a beautiful carol. It can be a silly children's song, whatever you like. Let us know on the live chat. That would be great. And just remember, we've only got 20 minutes, so get typing and get those thinking caps on.
How exciting is that? Joe is going to be taking your requests tonight, and I've got to say, I don't want to make his head any bigger, but he is excellent on that piano. So yeah, get those suggestions in. And it is time for our first festive reading of the evening, and it is a big one, a huge one. I know that lots of you are very, very, very excited about this person. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce Golden Globe and Emmy Award-winning actor Damian Lewis.
Advent 1955, Sir John Betjeman. The Advent wind begins to stir with sea-like sounds in our Scotch fir. It's dark at breakfast, dark at tea, and in between we only see clouds hurrying across the sky, and rain-wet roads the wind blows dry, and branches bending to the gale against great skies all silver pale. The world seems travelling into space, and travelling at a faster pace than in the leisured summer weather when we and it sit out together. For now we feel the world spin round on some momentous journey bound. Journey to what? To whom? To where? The Advent bells call out, "Prepare! Your world is journeying to the birth of God made man for us on earth." And how, in fact, do we prepare the great day that waits us there? For the 25th day of December, the birth of Christ. For some it means an interchange of hunting scenes of coloured cards. And I remember last year I sent out 20 yards laid end to end of Christmas cards to people that I scarcely know. They'd sent a card to me, and so I had to send one back. Oh dear, is this a form of Christmas cheer? Or is it, which is less surprising, my pride gone in for advertising? The only cards that really count are that extremely small amount from real friends who keep in touch and are not rich but love us much. Some ways indeed are very odd, by which we hail the birth of God. We raise the price of things in shops. We give plain boxes, fancy tops, and lines which traders cannot sell, thus parcelled go extremely well. We dole out bribes, we call a present, to those to whom we must be pleasant for business reasons. Our defence is these bribes are charged against expenses and bring relief in income tax. Enough of these unworthy cracks. The time draws near, the birth of Christ. A present that cannot be priced, given 2,000 years ago, yet if God had not given so, he still would be a distant stranger and not the baby in the manger.
Oh, Damian, we love you so much. How brilliant was that? And thank you so much for all of your comments. Lots of you enjoying Damian. Tina says, loving the concert, enjoying it with my wonderful mother, Joan. Hello, Tina and Joan. That's fantastic. Becca says, singing my heart out whilst drinking mulled wine and eating mince pies from the comfort of my sofa. That sounds so good. What a perfect evening. Thank you, Place2Be. And Tiv says, this is such a wonderful concert. I'm watching from LA whilst texting friends back home in the UK, watching too. I'm feeling so Christmassy. Thank you, Place2Be. You are such an amazing charity. You're amazing, Tiv. Thank you. Keep those comments coming in, just at Place2Be on social media or get them on the live chat.
Yes, so lovely to have you all here tonight and to have people of the calibre of Damian and all of our readers and singers tonight. It's all very, very exciting and I hope you're having a great time. I also hope that you are sending in those song suggestions furiously, tapping away on the live chat because I need something to play on this guy a bit later. Now, to the festive poll. Katie, have you a programme about your person?
Here is the reindeer that we need to name. Have we got a name for the reindeer?
Well, this is exciting. If there was a drum here, we would roll it. Your votes have been counted and verified and recounted, and I can announce that the Place2Be reindeer will forevermore be named Brian.
Yay! I'm glad it's Brian. That's what I would have voted
Yeah,
for.
I mean, it's clearly Brian.
Looks
That's
like
what
a
all
Brian.
reindeers should be named. Thank you, everyone. What a wonderful name, Brian. For the next poll, we would love you generous, beautiful people at home to reveal which part of Christmas dinner you like the best. Votes are open now.
My favourite bit is definitely pigs in blankets, no better food. And my niece Danielle, she trades her pigs in blankets for her sprouts. So I get her pigs in blankets and she gets my sprouts. It is brilliant. What's your favourite bit of Christmas dinner, Joe?
I love it. Well, Christmas is a time for eating things once and never again for the rest of the year. So my favourite is the side sausage, which is a very small sausage you have with your turkey, and it's...
Is it not for the dog, that?
Not for the dog. Don't give it to dogs or any food to dogs at Christmas time. I also love a satsuma, a festive satsuma.
One of my favourite Christmas smells is satsuma.
Yeah, absolutely. So some more music now. It's my great pleasure to introduce the wonderful mezzo-soprano Laura Wright, and she's a wonderful singer and a great friend and champion of Place2Be. She'll be joining the choir to perform John Henry Hopkins's carol, We Three Kings.
Oh
Thank you so much to Laura and the choir. That was absolutely beautiful. Now keep your suggestions coming in for Joe. What do you want him to sing and play on the piano for you tonight? It could be anything. We've had lots of suggestions. We've had Yes Sir I Can Boogie, possibly a Scottish view of that. We've also had the Batman theme suggested, the Harry Potter theme, so it could be anything. All you need to do is pop those ideas down on the live chat or tag us at Place2Be on social media. Now, looking after our own mental health and the mental health of children and young people has never seemed so important. And I know that's something we probably all feel strongly about tonight, otherwise we wouldn't be here supporting Place2Be. I know it's absolutely also true of our next reader, my fellow Place2Be ambassador and wonderful author, Sophie Dahl.
I'm delighted to join you all tonight, and I'm going to read The Christmas Life by Wendy Cope. Bring in a tree, a young Norwegian spruce. Bring hyacinths that rooted in the cold. Bring winter jasmine as its buds unfold. Bring the Christmas life into this house. Bring red and green and gold. Bring things that shine. Bring candlesticks and music, food and wine. Bring in your memories of Christmas past. Bring in your tears for all that you have lost. Bring in the shepherd boy, the ox and ass. Bring in the stillness of an icy night. Bring in a birth of hope and love and light. Bring the Christmas life into this house.
Thank you, Sophie Dahl. Beautifully read, and a wonderful poem by Wendy Cope. Thank you very much. Right, we've had all the suggestions in. This is going to be a challenge, but I'm ready. It's Christmas. Okay, these are some of the suggestions. Stay Another Day, E17. All I Want for Christmas Is You, Mariah Carey. Never before played in this church. Who's Batman theme tune, 12 Days of Christmas. Yes Sir I Can Boogie. Harry Potter theme. Have Yourself a Very Merry Christmas. I Believe in Father Christmas by Greg Lake. That's the... I'll play that one. Baby Please Come Home. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And Away in a Manger. Okay, I just need to put those in my head. As you'll see, I won't be able to look at this list when we get going. Oh, and Baby Shark is at the top, of course. Baby Shark. Festive classic, Baby Shark. Now, in keeping with the rules, we're in Tier 2, so I must wear my mask for this performance. Okay, hang on. Let's find a starting note. Baby shark, do-do-do-do, baby shark, do-do-do-do-do, baby shark, do-do-do-do-do, baby shark. You know what this sounds like? You say it's the final kiss. Won't you stay with Baby Shark? Please don't bite me on the arm. Don't say it's a Christmas charm. Won't you stay another shark?
I wish we had a live audience here to applaud you, Joe, because that was
I think it's
absolutely
best
amazing.
that we don't.
We've had lots of people getting in touch though. Lyra and Gemma both absolutely loving your performance. I didn't know that I needed an E17 Baby Shark mashup, but I did.
We do. We
Harry
need it.
Potter theme as well. As a big Potterhead, I very much enjoyed that. Thank you, Joe, and thank you so much for all of your suggestions. Good ones, because that was wonderful. It's time for another reading now, and I am so happy now to introduce a really close friend of mine and former colleague from CBBC, Rhys Stevenson, for our Bible reading. Like me, Rhys is a big champion of Place2Be. He's usually found at CBBC HQ with Hacker the Dog, but tonight he joins us from his church up in Manchester.
Hello everyone, it is an absolute pleasure to be joining you for Place2Be's virtual carol concert from the comfort of my very own home church, Poynton Baptist, as I deliver to you a Bible reading. It is from Luke chapter 2, verses 8 to 20. And there were, in the same country, shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, an angel of the Lord appeared before them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Saviour, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of heavenly hosts, praising God and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace and goodwill toward men. And it came to pass, as the angels were gone away from them into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, Let us go now unto Bethlehem, and see this thing which has come to pass, which the Lord hath made known unto us. And they came with haste, and found Mary and Joseph and the babe lying in a manger. And when they had seen it, they made known abroad the sayings which were told to them concerning this child. And all they that heard it wondered at those things which were told to them by the shepherds. But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. And the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things that they had heard and seen, as it was told unto them.
Oh, thank you so much to the Ribbon Academy in County Durham. You even have a Christmas name for your school, Ribbon Academy. It's like you're all wrapped up like a present. That was so lovely. It's not Christmas for me, Joe, until I have heard children singing.
Completely. Same for me. That is the sound of Christmas. Such a lovely sound. Thank you to the Ribbon Academy. So although we can't all be gathered here together in this beautiful church, it would be amazing if we could all join in for this next carol. Everyone at home, get yourself warmed up. Bit of port for the elders. Don't be shy. Go big. I'm hoping that across the country we will bring together voices big and small and everything in between as we sing together, God rest ye merry gentlemen, and we welcome back the wonderful choir of St Marylebone Church.
To save us all from Satan's power and evil.
That was beautiful and so Christmassy. Thank you so much to the choir for that. Now, during November, Place2Be held a prize draw to win a number of festive wreaths, which had all been donated by fabulous designers. And the last wreath we have saved for this evening, it's an edible wreath, the best kind of wreath. And it is by Mitch Turner. And we're about to reveal the winner of that wreath right now. So I've got this good socially distancing stick. It's very Christmassy. It's a Santa hat on the end of some tinsel. And Joe, would you please do the honours and reveal the winner?
It would be my pleasure. Thanks, Katie. Lovely
You reach
stick.
it, don't fall off the podium.
Okay, thanks. The winner is Matt Singleton.
Yay!
Crowd went wild. Matt, just remember to share it with me.
Yeah, it's gingerbread apparently. So another one of my favourite festive treats that we didn't discuss earlier on. Okay, it's time for another amazing reading, and this is from someone who loves Christmas so much he wrote a book all about it. Here is actor, comedian and writer Ben Miller to read to us from his own Christmas story.
Hello, I'm delighted to be part of Place2Be's virtual carol concert, and I would love to read you a very short excerpt from my book, The Night I Met Father Christmas. Ha! It was the bells I heard first. I'd expected jingle bells, like the ones in the song, but these sounded more like alpine cowbells. I ran to the window. The sky was empty. Way off in the distance, I heard the bells stop and start, growing a little louder each time. Little by little, they grew closer, and my excitement mounted. Then finally, when they were at their loudest, there was a huge bang, followed by a loud grinding and sliding, and the whole ceiling shook. I'd always thought Father Christmas arrived quietly, but I couldn't have been more wrong. No wonder he has to wait until everyone's fast asleep. Quick as a flash, I pulled on my dressing gown, slid my feet into my slippers, snatched up my toy rabbit and ran downstairs. Bold as you like, I burst through the sitting room door and rushed to the fireplace. Lumps of soot fell into the cold grate. Father Christmas was coming. Or at least he was trying to. The soot kept falling, and up in the chimney there were the muffled sounds of a struggle. I heard him say, "You'd think one person would clean their chimney on Christmas Eve, but oh no." There was a shout, followed by a falling noise, followed by a someone getting stuck in a chimney noise. There was the sound of wriggling and muttering, and then a tiny figure fell into the fireplace. I'd always imagined Father Christmas to be a giant, but the creature in front of me was minute. He had a bit of a tummy, though he wasn't what you'd call fat. He wore an old-fashioned red velvet jacket embroidered with green, with matching red velvet trousers and dark brown leather boots. He also had pointy ears and a turned-up nose, with short curly white hair stuffed under a red velvet cap. Suddenly it struck me. Father Christmas wasn't a person at all. He was an elf.
Massive revelation there from Ben Miller, changing that story forever for me. I think my daughter particularly is going to be very excited to read that book when she can. So while this evening is a festive celebration, we also want to celebrate and recognise the school staff, the parents, families and Place2Be teams who are responding to unprecedented and very difficult circumstances across the country. To help us do that, in a few moments, we will hear from the president and founder of Place2Be.
Yeah, this next section will take a more serious look at the mental health difficulties some people face and the reason that Place2Be exists and is so important. So if you're watching with young children who might have sensitive ears, you might want to take them away and just have a little hot chocolate or read them a little story while this bit is on.
Yeah, good point. So it is my great honour to introduce you to the formidable Dame Benny Refson.
A year like no other one that I have known, but there are a few constants. And tonight's Christmas Carol concert, albeit virtual, will hopefully bring meaning and cheer to our lives. Since 1994, Place2Be has been developing and providing mental health support to children in schools. And this year, it is no surprise to see a marked deterioration in their mental health, especially when we think about the impact of living with fear and loss, grief, parental addiction, depression, family conflict, poverty, and that constant sense of uncertainty, of no routine. For children and young people, knowing that Place2Be is there in their school, available to listen to their fears, is a reality for thousands of children across England, Scotland, and Wales. And for parents, head teachers, and their colleagues, knowing that their school provides support lightens their huge load, exacerbated by the events of this last year. I have received many calls from anxious family members looking for support for a loved one, and have been fortunate to be able to make many referrals to professionally qualified clinicians trained by Place2Be, who do not work in their child or grandchild's schools. A head teacher told me that every year when she looked at their strained budgets, she thinks of a 9-year-old boy who had received weekly support when he was 6 after the death of its baby sibling. Several years later, he referred himself because of his fears as his mother was pregnant again, and he recognized that this may trigger his anxiety. She said that this alone meant that the young boy will now become an adult who can look after his own mental health. Head teachers and teachers are listening to some really disturbing stories every day, and providing them with support and training is so important too. And a boy in a primary school in Glasgow said to me last year, "Thank you for creating this fantastic place that helps children, their families, and their teachers. You have done a fantastic job." So we look at the years ahead and can feel the clouds looming over our heads, like Julie, a 10-year-old, who said that sometimes her thoughts are so dark she can only take them to the Place2Be. So what we can offer collectively is hope, which isn't something we are born with. It has to be nurtured by our environment, and the earlier, the better. A survivor of Auschwitz told his son, "My child, we know we can live 3 days without water. You can live 3 weeks without food, but you cannot live for 3 minutes without hope." One young student said, "Place2Be has helped me with all my problems. I've run out of them now." Don't we wish that for all our children? So I thank you for being out there tonight and for helping us reach children in the past and hopefully so many more in the future, so they no longer feel alone with their fears and worries. Now you will see a short film, and I personally wish you all a safe and healthy time ahead.
I hadn't really heard about Place2Be until, sadly, our son Sam took his own life in 2018. So when Sam first started showing signs of depression and anxiety, it's very difficult to spot the difference between that and a normal teenager growing up. We weren't really aware as parents that there was something deeper to that. How do you help teachers and parents spot these sorts of signs in ways that hopefully directly and indirectly will benefit other children, young adults and their families?
When I feel sad or angry, I can just tell them and let it all out. The stuff that you keep inside you because you don't want to tell anyone. And you can also talk about what's happening at home. They'll try to help you fix it. I now am really a lot more confident than I used to be. Yeah, and happier.
A few weeks ago, something very sad happened to my dad, and then when I went to Place2Be, it made me feel better because I got to talk about my feelings.
My mum and my dad, they were going through a breakup kind of thing, and I used to have really bad panic attacks. It was just kind of nice having somebody there to talk about stuff like that and not be ashamed of it.
We've all been children, and we all know the highs and lows of that. And therefore, trying to support parents, children and schools create an environment in which vulnerable children feel that they have the ability to talk to others who will listen and give guidance to them simply has to be beneficial.
With so much uncertainty in the world right now, the support of Place2Be has never been more important, which is why during this next carol performed by Laura, we would love it and be so grateful if you could text a donation so that Place2Be can continue to support the mental health of children and families in schools across the UK. Every pound will mean that we can reach more children so that no one has to face their emotional difficulties alone. I'd also like to take this opportunity to give a huge shout out and thank you to all the teachers, Place2Be staff and volunteers who work so hard every day to support thousands of children across the UK who need somebody to listen to them.
The angel Gabriel from heaven came, his wings as drifted snow, his eyes as flame. Oh, hail, said he, thou lowly maiden Mary, most highly favoured lady, generations laud and honour thee. Thy son shall be Emmanuel, by sis foretold, most highly favoured lady, Then gentle Mary meekly bowed her head. To me be as it pleaseth God, she said. Thy son shall laud and magnify his holy name, most highly favoured lady,
Thank you so much for supporting Place2Be, and I have to say, Joe, that is an absolute tune. What a banger.
Absolutely.
That's a great one, that, isn't it?
Beautifully sung from Laura as well. Right, back to the festive poll, and these things really are massive. Which part of the Christmas dinner does our audience at home like most of all? Are you ready for the answer? It's not pigs in blankets, Katie. It's not even sprouts. It's roast potatoes.
Oh, okay. Well, that would have been the second choice for me.
Yeah.
They're an all-rounder, aren't they?
Everyone loves a roast potato. They're up front and out back.
They are. They're a safe option, definitely,
Yeah.
but I am slightly annoyed that it's not pigs in blankets. Thank you so much, everyone, for getting involved with the poll and also for sending in your comments as well. We've got one from Facebook here. Charlton Park Academy Rainbow House Residential Unit are watching. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. We've also got some lovely comments on the live chat. Debbie says, thank you. My little boy's made up watching this. He's adopted and has had a tough year. This has made his night. Oh, that's really, really nice. Thank you so much. And Helen says, me and my mum come and watch this every year, and even though we are at home this year, I'm enjoying this just as much, and I love Brian's name. That's Helen watching with Belle. We all love Brian's name.
We love Brian.
And it's time for another amazing reader now. Look, I've got so many. I've got two devices. Johnny two iPads over here. Our next reader has chosen to share her favourite poem because it's all about togetherness, inclusivity and community, which is so, so important right now. So please welcome the utterly wonderful star of stage and screen, Nina Sasanya, who you may recognise from one of your favourite Christmas films, Love Actually.
The Quangle Wangle's Hat by Edward Lear. On the top of the crumpety tree, the Quangle Wangle sat. But his face you could not see on account of his beaver hat, for his hat was 102 feet wide, with ribbons and bibbons on every side, and bells and buttons and loops and lace, and nobody ever could see the face of the Quangle Wangle Quee. The Quangle Wangle said to himself on the crumpety tree, jam and jelly and bread are the best of food for me. But the longer I live on this crumpety tree, the plainer than ever it seems to me that very few people come this way, and life, on the whole, is far from gay, said the Quangle Wangle Quee. But there came to the crumpety tree Mr. and Mrs. Canary, and they said, did you ever see any spot so charmingly airy? May we build our nest in your lovely hat, Mr. Quangle Wangle? Grant us that. Oh, please, won't you let us build our nest of whatever material suits you best, Mr. Quangle Wangle Quee? And besides, to the crumpety tree came the stork, the duck, and the owl, the snail and the bumblebee, the frog and the fimble fowl with the corkscrew leg, and all of them said, we humbly beg, we may build our homes in your lovely hat, Mr. Quangle Wangle. Grant us that, Mr. Quangle Wangle Quee. And the golden grouse came there, and the pobble, who has no toes, and the small Olympian bear, and the dong with a luminous nose, and the blue baboon, who plays the flute, and the orient calf from the land of Toot, and the attery squash, and the bisky bat, and all of them built on the lovely hat of the Quangle Wangle Quee. And the Quangle Wangle said to himself on the crumpety tree, when all these creatures move, what a wonderful noise there'll be. And at night, by the light of the mulberry moon, they danced to the flute of the blue baboon on the broad green leaves of the crumpety tree. And all were as happy could be, with the Quangle Wangle Quee.
Thank you, Nina. That was amazing. Suddenly transported back to my own childhood, being read that beautiful Edward Lear poem by my parents. I love all the language in that. Hope you enjoyed that one. In a minute, we will be hearing again from Laura and the beautiful choir. But first, we're going to hear some fabulous young voices to wish you a very Merry Christmas in their own way.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
As Lincoln Primary wish you a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Jingle, jingle!
Feliz Navidad! Feliz Navidad! Feliz Navidad! Prospero año, felicidad! I wish you a Merry Christmas! I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas! I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas! I wanna wish you a
That was so cute. You guys are so adorable. I particularly enjoyed Feliz Navidad. What a performance that was. We had schools from all over the UK there. We had people from Lancashire, from London, from Nottingham to Cardiff. Thank you for getting involved.
Amazing, wonderful, my favourite bit of the evening. But it gets better. Now, our next reader was an exciting addition to the programme, so some of you may not be expecting her. I'm sure, like me, lots of you have been watching the latest series of The Crown, which is, if you don't know, it's sort of like Love Island, but indoors. Anyway, our next reader, she plays Camilla. You might also know her as Patsy Mount from Call the Midwife, and she's also a very talented writer. So please welcome the wonderful Emerald Fennell.
Hello, I'm so delighted to join you tonight at Place2Be's virtual carol concert. I didn't have any Christmas decorations, so I have dressed as a Christmas bauble. Ring Out Wild Bells by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Ring out wild bells to the wild sky, the flying cloud, the frosty light. The year is dying in the night. Ring out wild bells and let him die. Ring out the old, ring in the new. Ring happy bells across the snow. The year is going, let him go. Ring out the false, ring in the true. Ring out the grief that saps the mind, for those that were we see no more. Ring out the feud of rich and poor, ring in redress to all mankind. Ring out the slowly dying cause, and ancient forms of party strife. Ring in the nobler modes of life, sweeter manners, purer laws. Ring out the want, the care, the sin, the faithless coldness of the times. Ring out my mournful rhymes, but ring the fuller minstrel in. Ring out false pride in place and blood, the civic slander and the spite. Ring in the love of truth and right, ring in the common love of good. Ring out old shapes of foul disease, ring out the narrowing lust of gold. Ring out the 1,000 wars of old, ring in the 1,000 years of peace. Ring in the valiant man and free, the larger heart, the kindlier hand. Ring out the darkness of the land, ring in the Christ that is to be.
Thank you so much, Emerald, and also what a relevant message after the year we've all just experienced.
Yes, indeed. Right, come on folks, singing time. You've warmed up. Now's your time to stand up on your feet and fill your lungs. Join us with this jolly carol. If you've never sung in front of your family, this is the time, I think. Joined by Laura and the wonderful choir of St Marylebone Church, we're all singing, Hark, the Herald Angels Sing.
God
Wow, that was absolutely beautiful. I could listen to Laura sing all day. It's very different to when I do Christmas karaoke. Thank you so much to all of our musicians who have made this evening so very, very magical. And now it's time for our final reading, and we are thrilled to be joined by an award-winning actress who barely needs any introduction. I don't need to say anything about her. You'll know who she is, and you'll be very excited to see her. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Keira Knightley.
Thank you so much for joining me for supporting children's mental health this evening. It is my great pleasure to read to you The Last Christmas Tree by Howard D. Fenkel. The Last Christmas Tree by Howard D. Fenkel. I saw a truck of Christmas trees, and each one had a tail. The driver stood them in a row and put them up for sale. He strung some twinkly lights and hung a sign up with a nail. Fresh Christmas trees, it said. Fresh Christmas trees for sale. He poured himself hot cocoa in a steaming thermos cup, and snowflakes started falling as a family car pulled up. A mum, a dad, and one small boy, who looked no more than 3, jumped out and started searching for the perfect Christmas tree. The boy marched up and down the rows, his nose high in the air. It smells like Christmas, Mum. It smells like Christmas everywhere. Let's get the biggest tree we can, a tree that's 10 miles high, a tree to go right through our roof, a tree to touch the sky, a tree so big that Santa Claus will stop and stare and say, "Now, that's the finest Christmas tree I've seen this Christmas day."
That was wonderful. Thank you, Keira. We are so grateful that you were able to join us this evening and support Place2Be. Good evening, everyone. My name is Karen Howes, and I am the chair of the Place2Be Carol Concert Committee. And for the past 10 years, I have the wonderful job of thanking everyone for making this incredible event happen. But nobody expected the year we have all had, and that this would be a virtual carol concert. I'm just so incredibly proud that despite everything, we've all been able to make this happen again. But this could not have been done without amazing support, passion, and energy. So I firstly want to thank all of you, our wonderful audience and supporters who have tuned in from home and this evening from all over the country and globally. I'm only sorry that we couldn't hear all of your wonderful voices. A thank you to our kind and generous sponsors, with special mention to the Rigby Group. Without all of you, this event simply couldn't happen, and many of you support year on year. To my committee, whose dedication and support is exemplary, especially my husband Andrew, who founded this event with me. A huge thank you to Hannah, Sarah, Joe, and all of the team at Place2Be. Their dedication has ensured that this event happens again this year. To all the talented wreath designers, we have made over £6,000 this year on wreaths alone. Also, a huge thank you to Penny Sainsbury of Peridot PR and Olivia Griffin from my team at Taylor House, who managed to pull this all together. I can only imagine as I stand here a sea of heads nodding in agreement as I say thank you to our fabulous readers, Sophie Dahl, Emerald Fennell, Keira Knightley, Damien Lewis, Ben Miller, Rhys Stevenson, and Nina Sozanya. You were all amazing, and the difference you make by giving your time selflessly is beyond measure. Thank you to Reverend Stephen Evans and Marylebone Parish Church, the beautiful Laura Wright, and the talented choir, as well as the whole team at Perception Live for bringing the evening together. And I think you will all agree that the children's choirs from our Place2Be schools were outstanding. And last but not least, Katie and Joe for hosting the evening. You are true pros. Before I hand over to Father Stephen Evans, it just leaves me to wish you all a very happy Christmas and happy holidays, albeit a smaller one for us this year. And thank you again for supporting Place2Be. The mental health of our children is ever more important, and the support you have all given enables us to reach out to even more children in the coming year. Thank you.
Christ, who by his incarnation gathered into one things earthly and heavenly, fill you with the fullness of inward peace and goodwill, and make you partakers of the divine nature. And the blessing of God Almighty, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit be with you this Christmas tide and remain with you always. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend, and what a night! Joe and I would like to say thank you so much to all of you on behalf of Place2Be, to everyone who bought tickets. The Christmas wishes were courtesy of the White Company, so thank you to them. Everyone who entered the wreath prize draw and made Christmas donations and got in touch with us tonight, thank you so, so much. Your support is amazing and enables Place2Be to continue to support children and young people as we approach a new year.
Yes, thank you everyone. And we do hope you've had fun at home. Katie and I have had a completely memorable, wonderful night surrounded by these star readers and musicians. So thank you so much for joining us. We hope you've been inspired also to carry on supporting Place2Be's wonderful work in schools all across the country.
Thank you so much, everyone, and I hope you have a lovely, happy, healthy, safe Christmas, and we'll see you again next year.
So playing us out are the student band Scringe from Reach Academy, Feltham in West London. And all we have to say is thank you, and we wish you all a safe and happy Christmas.